I'm going live. Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry Gideons. I'm here today with my great partner, Misty Willis, and of course, when everything goes on, of course, my phone starts ringing. So, this is an in the moment video, and we get to, live life. So I just wanted to come on with Misty today and really talk about how can we bring more oneness and more positivity? How can we actually align with it despite the appearances that are going on in our world? And so here's the deal. Every single one of us has volition. Each of us has a choice. And first of all, we can't change what we're not aware of. And so with all this chaos and madness and stress and fear going on in the world, it goes back to that old adage, where two or more are gathered. So the media is putting out all this mass information that's causing so many people to be fearful. And we don't realize that each and every one of us is attached to a certain emotion in the moment that is a vibration. And we know that's true because anytime we walk into any environment, we feel a vibration, we feel a vibe. And so when we're attached to these emotions of fear in the world, guess what? What we put out, we pull back. And so if we go back to that old adage, where two or more are gathered, we're giving our power away in fear. We're giving our power away in the appearance. And yes, it does seem very real. I'm not going to say that it does not seem very real. But you have a choice to align with people in positivity. Every time we think a thought for longer than 16 seconds, we build that power. So imagine 16 seconds upon 16 seconds upon 16 seconds of thinking that I'm not going to have enough, or that there's not enough toilet paper, or I'm out of a job, or I've got the appearance of not enough. When we're thinking and analyzing and rationalizing and scrutinizing every 16 seconds, we're growing that seed. We're growing that power. And so bringing it back to the present moment, if you're a believer in God, or you're a believer in your higher power, or the universe, or the divine, whatever your belief is, that's what you create. That's what you give power to. So why not gather together in the belief that there is a divine power that is everywhere present? There is a loving presence that is within each and every one of us. And each and every one of us has a choice in the moment to align with that power within, to let that loving presence create good and greater good in all of our lives. So Misty and I wanted to come on today, and we wanted to give you some steps and some tools that you can use to align with positivity, to align with good and greater good, and to align with us in growing our power in letting go of this appearance. Let's unite as one, and let's put that power out there into the universe, and let's put that and grow that seed together, grow that garden. So Misty, why don't you take a second and share some of the steps that we've come up with, the tools for, what people can use right now in that moment that they catch themselves going into fear. Oh, did we lose Misty? I think we did. I think we lost her. Well, I'm going to share some of the steps just to get started. Hopefully she'll come back in a second here. So One of the steps that I use is in any second that I notice that I am going into fear, or I am, wanting to go read what's going on out there, then what happens is I take a deep breath and I let the breath out. That one thing alone, guess what? Grounds you. That one thing alone balances out your nervous system. It connects you to awareness. Then what happens is I have mantras that I use. And a mantra that I use is I take a deep breath in and I say, God is. And then I take a deep breath out. I am. Looks like Misty's back. So we lost her. So
My internet.
I know. I thought it was something. So what I started, because you weren't here, I started
No, that's okay.
the first tools of taking a deep breath and grounding ourselves. And then I went on to the taking a deep breath and God is, I am. And why don't you finish with the rest of the tools that we came up with that people can use to stay in the moment and be positive and own their power?
So one of them is I was having some problems. Speaking gratitude.
Yeah, your internet's kind of spotty today.
It is. I know. I don't know why. It's not normally like this, but there's a lot going on right now.
Well, we're in the moment, and we're going one step at a time, and we're staying full of positivity and laughter.
That's all we can do. We can do. But I definitely go into gratitude, talk about all the good things that there are in your life and that you can focus on, because immediately after you get into that mode, you start to feel better and you start to feel more aligned. And that can help you in the next little part of things, is maybe go into some meditation. Take some time and just get clear with yourself and get into a quiet space. And a lot of times we are freaking out and we can't get our mind to be quiet. So going into meditation is really helpful. It can help you to just be relaxed and grounded and clear. The other thing is, you can create some mantras for yourself. And as you catch yourself falling into this mode of negative habits and things, you can start to just repeat to yourself different things about, like you said, God is, I am, going into those places where you can just feel good. You just want to get to that feeling of feeling good.
Right.
So those are some tricks that have helped me. And do you think you can add any more, Sherry?
Well, the thing that really helps me is I have what I call a non-negotiable. And so, these are habits that each and every one of us can develop. I say it all the time. It's like brushing your teeth. We brush our teeth because we know that habit is good and we know that habit serves us. And listen, anything we do in life requires habits. But what I have discovered for myself is that tomorrow is not even here yet. And yesterday is over. So the question is, how are you going to set yourself up today to live a life of fun, to live a life of joy, to live a life of good and greater good? How can we all be present in the moment? And I said earlier, it requires awareness, because it's that good old awareness when you're right there in that moment that you have a choice. And each and every one of us can choose in that moment to align with what? Are we going to align with the appearance of, being scared or fear or chaos? Or are we going to recognize in that moment when we're right there that we have power, that there is a greater power that we can tap into within us? And that's the habit that I have developed in myself. And so when I talk about non-negotiables, I have a program that I work. And I wake up in the morning every single morning, and I go straight to the mirror and I look at myself in the mirror and I say, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for this relationship that I have developed with you. And I'm so grateful at this outer picture of beauty that I'm shining, and that I'm healthy, and that I'm whole, and everything in my body is working perfectly to demonstrate this shining light. And when we talk about tools, I sit down and I have a gratitude book. And it's in this gratitude book that I literally write out every day 10 things that I am grateful for. But I started out like this because when we talk about being present in the presence, I started out with the sentence, I am so happy and grateful now that. And then I go into something like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am attracting people from all over the world to align together in helping the world to stay positive, in helping the world to align with that presence of oneness that is doing the work, that is taking care of the how. And then I do 10 statements of things that I believe that I want to be right now. And then once I do that, I do what's called a meditation practice. And so I'm really into essential oils. I love essential oils, and they plug me directly in to all of the elements of the plants that are within this particular essential oil. And the one that I use is called Joy. And so I take the Joy and I put some drops in my hand. And then I take, I got to see where my hand is over here. Okay. And I take these three. I know you can't see on video where your hand is. So I take these 3 fingers and I activate the essential oil in my hand. 1, 2, 3. And I place it here on my forehead. I place it below my nose. I place it on my chin. And I place it right here in that portion of the neck, the hypothalamus. I think it's called the hypothalamus. And I rub it 1, 2, 3. And then I take my hands in prayer position and I rub my hands together, and then I cup them and I breathe in. The God is I am. And what that does, you guys, is that literally centers me and aligns me and gets me still to do meditation. Because you hear these excuses from everybody, oh, my life's too busy and I can't do meditation and I can't get my mind to shut down. But I'm telling you, this tool is something that a Buddhist monk taught me many years ago at a Les Brown convention. And I have utilized this for years now. And even if I have 3 minutes, this tool alone literally aligns me and gets me into that mode of just being quiet. I wanted to bring up too about meditation. What happens with a lot of people is they don't know really how to meditate, and they think that they're supposed to be going in an imagination of what they want. Well, that's a whole different process. When you meditate, you're supposed to think about no thing. You're not supposed to think. You're supposed to just get completely in nothingness and let yourself just be still. So those are some non-negotiables on top of reading. I'm an avid reader. So reading aligns me with, just thinking what, a direction I want to think in the moment. That's why I read all of these self-help books and these positive books, because I want to stay present with the presence in the moment.
And you want to, is the Reiki, have that skill set or are able to learn how to do it and be attuned. that has made a significant difference in everything lately. I feel way more calm than I ever have. And I'm like type A, super like nervous, anxious all the time. And it's just, I'm constantly going and going, but this has really helped ground me quite a bit, and it helps me sleep better too. So that's something that you can definitely look into a little bit more if you're curious about it.
Well, why don't you share? I mean, are there some tools about the Reiki that you can share with people that they can utilize?
In order to do Reiki, they can have Reiki done to them or through someone, even if it depends on what level of Reiki you're at. So I'm on Reiki 1. I can pretty much do it to myself and maybe some friends if I wanted to. That you have to be attuned to be able to do that, and only a Reiki master can do that. So there's other levels that you can go into. So like Reiki 2, you start going into more of like helping other people, and then there's like the master. And once you're do the master program, you can actually do Reiki from far away. I know a couple people that are able to do that, so that's something you can have done even remotely. That person can hold the space of the universe for you. So it's pretty interesting, but there are people that are able to do that, and that would be a good thing for you to experience. And they do recommend like several treatments of it, right away, and then you can kind of just do some for maintenance later. But if you have the ability to do it to yourself on a regular, it's definitely helpful. Definitely a great skill to have.
That's nice. That's one of the things that I do as a licensed spiritual practitioner with Center for Spiritual Living is we're taught that there's no separation, period, between us and God, and that there's no separation between any of us. We are all one. And when we can fully come into that, then that's where we truly experience all of the attributes of God. It's already within us. Yeah. There's no like, I've got to pray to get something.
Right.
It's already within us because we are the children of God, and each and every one of us is all of the attributes of God. Love, light, peace, joy, abundance, prosperity, humility. I mean, every attribute of the great I am is already in us. We are it. And all we have to do is access it. And so as a spiritual practitioner, one of the things that I do is recognize all of that in myself, because I know that there's no separation between you and me or anyone.
There's
not one person. And so I was thinking, another tool that I could just, give people a example of, or we could do a treatment right now, and we could just align in the presence right here and right now. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. So one of the things I've been doing recently, you guys, is I have been putting out there what's called I am statements. But within the I am statements, I've now started to do a treatment. And I've started to do those treatments with my mentor, who's been my mentor literally through the utmost chaos, the pits of hell that I have created for myself over the years, until I stepped into this amazing life that I'm living now and so grateful for. And so I just thought that today we would take a moment to do that and just pray us out in this spiritual mind treatment. So what do you think, Misty? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yep.
So let's just, every one of us for a second, just take a deep breath in and let's just center ourselves in the oneness of the presence of God. Let's take a deep breath in. And let it out. And so I am knowing right here and right now that I am one with the present. This one presence that has the power to do all things through me. I know and declare that this is only God, and that this life lives through me as me. And so as I speak my word, I know that this truth is in every person. I know in my heart that every person is the divine presence, the divine expression in existence. And as I embrace this truth, this life unfolds with perfection, which is within me, as it is everyone else. There is no need to worry. There is no need to fear. There is no need to get caught up in any chaos. I fully allow this presence to execute itself through the great law of all of life. And I am so grateful to know this truth for each and every one of you. I am so grateful. And so as I know this presence lives within me, I release my word to the law, knowing that it is already done, that it is already so. And we say together, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank
So,
you.
so every
awesome.
one of you go out today and be fully and absolutely aligned in faith and trust, and allow God to do the work, to take care of the how. There is nothing to worry about. I hope that this has helped each and every one of you, and have a fabulous, amazing day.
Bye, guys. Love you all.
Bye.